Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome, and thank you for coming. As Tony intimated, wow, the third national awards, and I've been privileged enough, I'm just the chair of the National Association at this moment in time, and I've been privileged enough to watch the creation of the awards and the first 3 years, and it's fantastic. It's my favourite day of the year, because the background behind what's involved in these awards and the route and journey, and everybody's journey to get here, once you start going into depth on this, and the judges will appreciate this more than anybody, is quite inspiring. I want to get a few thank yous out of the way first before I talk a little bit more about our guests and about you people, who are the most important people in all of this. I'd like to, first of all, thank our sponsors. We've got our main sponsors, who are the Sisley Foundation, who have a background and a link with the type of work and area of education that we're in, and with the foundation, which you'll be able to read quite a bit about, that was set up by Steve and Maureen Clifford, and it's a real appreciation on our part that you're sponsoring today's event, and all the costs of the hotel, the trophies and the food and everything else, and that's been really gratefully supported also by Ian Browns, who again you'll be able to read a little bit about what they're about, and thanks to the Managing Director Peter Norgate and Associate Director Gareth Heath. So thank you, because without that backing we just wouldn't be able to happen, we wouldn't have the money to do it. I'd like to also thank Dave Garrett, who's our photographer today, who's giving up his time for free and his expertise, just to make sure, as Tony mentioned, that you've got some route to professional photos that we'll distribute through the schools and through websites and whatever else. I'd also like to thank the judges, Steve Clifford, who's as part of the Sisley Foundation and an expertise as a former head teacher in our line of work. On the panel, we've got Lynn Richards, who was the former Chief Executive of Engage, and Damien Mower from BT, who have given their time, and it took a lot of time, didn't it, guys? I'm not going to ask you to stand up, because Lynn's fractured her ankle, but yet still made sure she got here today to be part of this. But it's these three people sat here. Okay, so if you want to see them and thank them, but all of you young people in the room, these are the people that scrutinise it. None of them have a contact or association with any of the schools involved. It's a neutral judging panel, and you're here because it's a national award. So there was a huge amount of applications from 90 schools, the Engage network across the country, where applications have gone in for young people that have done brilliant things, and the selected few to be here today that have come down to the final. You're all winners, you've all got an award, and there are others that there were some inspiring stories and people who've got certificates back in their schools, but they didn't make it to where you were today. So that's something that I want to actually go on and talk about, because you've all got something in common, you young people. That thing you've got in common is some part in your history or your schooling, things haven't gone straightforward for you. Not necessarily your fault at all, but for some reason, at some point, things weren't working out. The other thing you've got, and I don't know you all personally, I know some of you, but the other thing you've got in common is at some point where you've been given an opportunity, just by dint of the fact you're here today, and you've got an award, you've taken that opportunity and you are achieving amazing things, despite where things have been in the past. So that is fantastic, because it's one thing to climb a mountain, and climbing mountains is a good thing, because you can go high, you can admire the view, you can bask in your own achievement, but actually climbing a mountain when sometimes somebody's saying, yeah, but we're going to start you at the bottom of the sea or on the valley, you've got to climb to get to the start of the mountain, is an even greater achievement than those that just go and climb mountains. And you've got that resource, you've got that background and resource, where actually for some people, where their lives have been a little bit easier or a bit more straightforward, you've actually done it. And you'll be able to draw on that resource in ways where people like me, who actually, my schooling was relatively straightforward, however, I wasn't always that well behaved, but you have a resource that's there, and you draw on that for the rest of your lives and think about that. The other thing I'd like to say is that it is a national award. I'm going to say a little bit more about Bob and Bob Wilson, who's going to present the awards in a minute. But the thing that you guys have got in common, and Bob's got in common, is that you're all prize winners on a national award. I never won a national award. The word national across the country is huge. So when you get those certificates today and you get those trophies, I'm going to ask you to treasure them. Put them away somewhere safe. Get them out once a year or twice a year when you have friends round. Show pride in it because you've earned it. And treasure it and treasure it and treasure it.